Hi viewers, my name's Kara, I'm your Tuesday host on the Pagan Perspective, and I'm about to do a video on Satanism and left-hand paths with a Care Bear visible in the background. Something just fell over outside my room, and it's the middle of the night, so that creeped me out a little bit. It's like the world is ending because I said Satanism. So this week's topic comes from two different people. The first question was kind of general, and then someone else, much later, we got another suggestion with a little bit more specific questions. So I put them together. The first one is from FTWbiology, Biology for the Win, who said that they were wondering if we could do a topic on Satanism, our opinion and our thoughts on it. And then the other one is from GestaltChimera, I think I said that correctly. And their questions were a lot more specific, so I'm going to put the whole topic questions in the description. So please go and read all of their questions first, because I'm just going to respond to things that they said. So I'll give you a minute to do that. Pause the video and read it. And we're back! I have notes on my screen because I don't want to make this forever long, because it is the middle of the night and I should have gone to bed, but I had an interview today and so I forgot to do the video early. My thoughts and opinions. So when I was little and I first heard about Satanism, I was like, what the heck? That's so weird. Why would you do that? Because I was raised Catholic, so yeah, Satan meant bad things to me, and I was just like, I don't get it. Then I learned that Satanists don't actually worship Satan, and that made so much more sense to me, and I was just like, okay, now I see you. Then I learned that some Satanists actually do worship Satan, and now I am a more knowledgeable person. Though I am certainly no expert, so most of these things are still just opinions and basic general knowledge that I got from reading, like, the internet. I haven't read any books on Satanism, anything I've gathered is from online, and the occasional actual Satanist posting online. I don't know any in real life, and I've also seen one of those documentaries that had, like, I think one of the women that it was talking about was a witch of some sort, and then another woman that was on this documentary was a Satanist. So as far as definitions go, this is what I know exists. There are basically two main different types of things that you could be talking about when you say Satanist. Saying Satanism is almost kind of equivalent in a way to saying paganism. What kind are you talking about? Like, that doesn't mean anything in itself. You have to put some other kind of qualifier with it. So, from what I know, one could be a theistic Satanist, which is the Satanist that actually worships the Christian figure Satan. Like, that is his name, he is a being, which, again, I think that's weird, but then again, that's because I don't believe in the Christian devil, so, I mean, whatever, but if you do, then yeah, that makes sense. And just for the record, I don't consider the Christian devil Satan and Lucifer to be the same thing. They're not automatically the same concept or being in my way of thinking, especially since my roommate last year played the Satan in a play that we did, and I say the Satan, the original term, the accuser. And so she did a lot of research on Satan as a figure and Lucifer and the difference and stuff like that, and we came across a lot that says, like, there was never anything that actually said that Lucifer and Satan were the same thing. So to me, if you're a Luciferian, is that what you would call it? I've come across a couple people online who worship Lucifer, and I don't consider them a Satanist unless they choose to use that term. I consider them a worshipper of Lucifer, which is not the same thing to me. Anyway, moving on, I'm getting a little bit on a tangent there. You could also be a religious Satanist, and those are the folks who don't actually worship the being or direct deity of Satan, I guess, the figure, but worship it and honor it, revere it, him more as a principle of life, a concept, an idea, or as religious tolerance defines it, one who accepts Satan as a pre-Christian life principle worth emulating. It's got nothing to do with how Christians view Satan. It happens to use the same name, but it's just drawing on the idea of this force in the universe who has existed pre-Christianity and represents very specific things. The religious tolerance definition continues, they follow a number of religious traditions of which the largest by far is the Church of Satan, which was founded by Anton LaVey. And have you read the Church of Satan website? It is delightful. Seriously, just read their website. It's really delightful. I think it's written really interestingly, and frankly, nothing that's like in their beliefs or statements, while I personally disagree with some of them, like a few of them I'm like, I'm not for that one so much, but that's a personal choice. Every person is different. But generally, the things they stand for are not all that bad things, just saying. I mean, just go read it and you'll see. I mean, you don't have to be, it doesn't make you a Satanist automatically if you agree with some of the things they believe in, okay? I mean, I agree with some things that lots of different religions believe in. That doesn't make me all of those things. So people shouldn't be afraid of that. I think it's okay for us to say that we understand something, like we can relate on something. We're different in many other ways, but we're also similar in ways. So, okay, so now in responding to GestaltChimera's actual specific questions about Satanists giving us a bad name, the rest of us giving us a bad name. I mean, you have to understand where that's coming from. I'm sure you do. I felt like that before. In the past, before I really knew like what Satanism was about, I totally felt like that. Because the easiest thing for other people to say to us, as pagans, as witches, as Wiccans, whatever it is, the easiest thing for some non-believer who doesn't know about it to say is, you're a Satanist. And the easiest thing to say back is, no, pagans don't worship Satan. We are not Satanists. Like, you don't even know what you're talking about, okay? And so now I realize that in doing that, we are kind of knocking down a notch the people who actually do believe in Satan. But when I used to say that, I didn't know that people actually believed in Satan, and I thought about it a lot differently than I do now. So I mean, it's just because it's the easiest thing to say. Like, or like when a kid is coming out to their parents and they know that, you know, saying that they're a pagan or a witch or something is going to be really disconcerting, the first thing you say is, I don't worship the devil, though. It's just like, it's the first thing we think of because it's the thing that we want to not identify with. And for those of you who do identify with that, I'm sure that's just got to be so much more difficult, because what are you supposed to say? Like, you can't say, oh, but I don't worship the devil, because you freaking do. So it's like, hi, Mom and Dad, yeah, I actually am that person. What are you going to do about it? Like, it's still legit. It's still, you know, so like, I feel for you on that. But yeah, I have learned to say, when someone throws that at me, I have learned to say, I am not a Satanist. Yes, some people are. I am not personally, but they exist, and you should probably do some research because it's not what you think. Same thing I say about my own religion. You're like, you know, you should probably do some research on Wicca, or on paganism, or on witchcraft. Like, do some research. It's not even what you think. Do some research on Satanism. It's not what you think. That's just what I've learned to say. I hope that I have progressed in that. I feel like I have. I know I still don't know everything, but I feel like it's gotten a lot better. Saying that Satanists are actually Christian. Well, no, as you said, that's not true at all for some Satanists who don't actually worship the Christian deity, for the religious Satanists. But I wouldn't call a theistic Satanist a Christian anyway, because to me at least, and this might be like out of left field, but to me, a Christian follows Christ. So a Satanist follows... You see where I'm going with this? So I wouldn't call them a Christian anyway. Like, it's a separate thing. You are following a separate thing. Yes, it is from that pantheon, but whatever. It's a word. It is a word that describes what you actually believe and follow. Should Satanists even be called pagan? Yeah, it gets sticky and complicated. And, I mean, most of the things that I've read about paganism and, you know, talk about all the different things that go under the umbrella don't include Satanism under that umbrella, because it's not what we think of as paganism in terms of being a maybe dual deity focused, nature revering, blah blah blah, but not all pagans are nature revering is what I'm learning now as well. So like, there's just so much. So no, I don't think it's generally put under the umbrella, but yeah, technically by most definitions, I think by most people's definitions of paganism, Satanists are pagans. And I don't know if they would personally want to claim that title at all. And I mean, I know that if that were like widely known, Satanists are just considered pagans, you know, like part of that. Yeah, I might feel a little weird from now on telling people like, hey, I'm a pagan, because that just adds one more thing that people could think that I am that I'm not. You know, sometimes I say I'm a pagan just because it's the easiest thing to say, but that's not the narrow definition of my personal beliefs. Pagans are so different. So, I mean, that's why I said that saying Satanism is like saying paganism, because they could mean so many different things. Generally, I don't think we define them as pagans, but you know, as far as like being part of a community, I think we're all dealing with the same kind of hatred and misunderstanding and refusal to understand from other people and from each other, which is just absolutely ridiculous to me. And so, like, I have said stupid things about other pagan faiths and other whatever because I didn't know. And then I had to feel stupid, and I had to apologize, and I had to do research. I mean, come on. I feel like as long as we're trying to learn about each other, we're doing it right. I mean, I could be saying things that are incorrect right now, but as long as you tell me that in a polite manner, I will gladly change my schema to include the new information. I mean, I have brought up in conversation plenty of little individual things that just one person has responded to a post that I did or a video I did, and they told me that for them, it's that different thing. They're the only person who has ever told me that, but I remember that, and I use it in the next time I have a conversation. I say, like, yeah, this is generally what it is, but I do know one person who it's like this for. And so I'm getting on a tangent again, I'm sorry, but I really think it's important because it just is. Yeah, I think Satanists are part of our community. Because frankly, I think we're a freaking global community of the human race. Not everyone likes that, and not everyone wants to accept that, and not every pagan is gonna like every other pagan, and I know there are some people out there going, you're too universal, and you're too much about loving people and fug-loving people. Because I've gotten that before, and I remember that. So I know when I say it that some people disagree, but I have to still say it because that is what I believe. The last part, this is my favorite. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you brought this up, Chimera. On the topic of, you know, don't use the word Satanism because it's a negative or Christian term. Fug that. Okay, and by the way, I'm saying fug because I just read John Green's novel, An Abundance of Catherines, and that's what they say. If you haven't read it, please go read it. If you have read it, you'll get a little laugh out of that. Fug that. If you want to call yourself a Satanist, call yourself a Satanist. Call yourself whatever suits you, whatever describes you. Telling a Satanist not to use the word Satanist is like when people try to tell me not to refer to myself as a witch because of the negative connotation that it has in society. That's what I am. I'm also a Wiccan, I'm also solitary eclectic, so I say all of those words, but, and I also say pagan sometimes, but, like, people tell me, like, just don't call yourself a witch, just don't ever say that because people are gonna think it's evil. No, no, that's what I am. I'm gonna use that word, and I don't think we should hide from words just because other people aren't gonna know what it means. I think we should continue to use these terms, and when it comes up, use that term and use that opportunity to tell people what it actually means. Because maybe then people will actually learn what things mean instead of just thinking that it's terrible and making us all run away from it. Okay, I am getting really ranty in this video. I'm really sorry, you guys. I didn't mean for that to happen. But there's just so many related things in here that I think are important lessons no matter who you are. And I really feel like that. Like, yeah, use that word. I don't care. Yeah, it's got a negative connotation, but that's because people don't know what the frick you're talking about. And I don't even know what you're talking about some of the time. So, you know what? My last point, and I wrote it down here, I really like it. You want to know about Satanism? Read a book, read a website, watch a documentary if it's one of those that has, you know, someone on it. Or better yet, ask a Satanist. What better way to learn about someone's beliefs than to ask them? Googling helps, it really does. I mean, having a basic working knowledge before you approach someone is great, but honestly, you have to ask people personally as well, because that's the only way you're really going to know what it means to them. This video is so much longer than I thought it was going to be. I had a lot of fun with this topic. Thank you guys so much for doing it, and I know it took forever to get to it. We do have a very long list of topics. Oh, and while I'm talking at you, I should probably tell you that Friday is different now because Feather has decided to step down and take some time to herself. I know you guys probably noticed that she wasn't posting for a while and she was having substitutes, so she decided to do that permanently, and she might show up on the weekends editions with Dancing Rabbit, which I'm really looking forward to because they're adorable, separately and together. So Cole will be taking over Fridays, and yeah, I know that like 6 or 7 people have been messaging asking how can I join the channel, and I have told you that there will be auditions. If we ever need more people, that's how we do it. And the current members did vote, and since there is only one person that we had to switch around this time, we don't feel like going through the whole process of auditions just for one spot, because generally we get a lot of good people and we don't want to turn a bunch of people away. So like, I don't want 10 to 15 of you auditioning and I can only pick one of you. Like, that's just terrible. So as long as it's just this one, we're going to stick like this for now. Coal is going to be Fridays now, and subs week will just be one day less, which we've done before. We've had a not full week before. It's no big deal. And then later on, inevitably, other people will have schedule changes and things will move around, and when we have multiple spots open, we will do auditions again. But for now, we're good. So sit tight. Thank you very much for being interested, and please do video responses and stuff. We do require approval for video responses. That's just for us to make sure that it's on topic, because I don't want people to post just like random spam videos or just like a random video from their channel that has nothing to do with it. So that's really all it's for. Feel free to post a video response. It will wait for approval, but that's only for the individual person to be like, yeah, that's actually a response to my video. So please do it. I will go ahead and apologize that I don't always see my video responses and comments right away because this isn't my personal channel. So I check my personal channel every day, but I really only check Pagan Perspective like once a week when I post. So I don't always have time to get on in the middle of the week and respond to your responses directly. So really, I think it's more important that it be a discussion between the rest of you, between the rest of the viewers. And then when we can get to it, if we can respond to it again, that would be great. I really need to stop this video now, so thank you very much for watching. I will see you next week, and until then, blessed be, or whatever the heck you prefer to say to the other people in your religion. Okay, I love you. Bye. That video file was 22 minutes long, so yeah, it's gonna be really closely edited like I normally do, and it's necessary because that's a freaking long video, and I didn't even mention left-hand paths. I wanted to mention that I had never heard the term left-hand path until someone commented or something, said something to me in comments about a left-hand path, and I was like, what is this? But at the time I was reading The Goodly Spellbook by Duve and Lady Passion of Coven Oldenwild. I don't know how to say their names. And I was reading it a little at a time, day by day, and like the day after this woman left me this comment talking about left-hand paths, I did my reading for the day, turned the page, and it's like, left-hand paths, and like told me all about it, and I just felt like an idiot because if I had waited one more day to read the comment, I would have known exactly what they were talking about. I don't really use that term very often, but I guess, like, I also don't use the term dark pagans. I don't really know what that refers to, unless it just refers to a pagan that works mostly with the dark side of deities, or like shadow, mostly. I don't see a reason to like put them into a separate category. I mean, like, we're supposed to be about balance, in my opinion, and I think it's all part of what we're supposed to be learning, honestly. So, I don't use those terms, but I vaguely know what they mean. Yeah, I just wanted to mention that. Okay, I need to go edit this severely. Goodbye.